Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. For those of you who have never been here before, welcome to my little corner of the internet. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. I hope you will continue to like the show. So there's a lot going on this episode, so we may have to see if we can get everything shoehorned in here. If not, I'll explain what and why. All right, so now let's get to our first segment, which is called Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, weeks 200 and 201. Okay, this was a little short one because it was extremely hot out there when we went walking. This was just straight out from my house to El Salito Parkway to 620 and then on back. But even with that short distance, the amount of stuff we find, and this is day 2, by the way, so this is a Tuesday. The stuff we find from the weekend and just overnight is really sometimes appalling. So, for example, you see there's a bunch of our usual cigarette butts, and then this time, because we were going to El Salito and 620, a lot of food wrappers and baggies, and then food containers and car parts that people, accidents or falls off of their cars and then they just throw them to the side of the road, or normally they migrate to the side of the road just because it gets kind of crazy. And speaking of kind of crazy, so I normally don't do this, but this is a shot. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. And here, this is a commercial property, which is the only reason why I showed it. And here they are watering the grass and the curb. So there was a broken sprinkler head, which they didn't bother to check when they turned the sprinklers on, which I've never seen the sprinklers on this time of day for this property. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyway, I digress. So here's week 200, day 6. And day 6 is a Saturday, so we were able to get and do our crazy thing. As you see, went out and then went around El Salito on Blazing Star Trail, and then went into on the other side of that, I think it was Astor Pass, and then went back and then went down different places. So this time we found a swag towel, which is actually still in great shape, food wrappers and food containers and alcoholic balls, and then there was some kind of rubber ball there, and then the normal cigarettes and a cigarette box, and then next to that is some sort of special flavor, let's put it that way, vape pen, but a lot of containers, and then a chancla or a sandal for those of you who don't know. So going into week 201, still pretty hot out there with the really high UV content. And this coming week, I think I'll be walking extra early in the morning. Anyway, so this is day 2. So this was one of the usual routes. And people have asked me, which I'll go on a bit after this, about my routes and where I go, or my routes, depending on where you're from. So this is... this is continuation, but this is the trash that I found. So food containers and beverage cups and bubble wrap and some sort of little toy gun and more food wrappers, and then there's a towel, a couple of shop towels, and then a regular towel underneath all that, and then unusually high amount of cigarette butts. I think I found 63 that day. So it was a crazy amount. And just craziness out there in the world of Trash in the Hood. Okay, so a little bit about what I was talking about as far as the routes, or the route is depending on where you're from and how you say it. I kind of go back and forth. So if you hear me interchange, then that's what I'm doing. So because I have the same starting point for the most part. Now there is every now and then where my walking partners, the Takashitas, I will go to where they are, which is pretty much downtown Cedar Park off of Main Street, and we will walk around there, and we'll hit Whitestone and Discovery and those kind of places that has a lot more stuff on it because we don't hit it as often as perhaps we should. But really, we start from my house for most of the routes. So for the routes we have, I go from my house, which is off of Hickory Drive, and I walk pretty much. I try to walk as far as I can, depending on the heat and how I feel that day, and how everything is, and what time of day it is. Also, will depending on if I have something to do, errands to run, or if I have appointments or I have something like that, will get me out there later in the day. And I don't want to. I should walk later, but I don't normally, because then that just pushes my dinner time to later, which means then I stay up later, which means I get a horrible night's sleep. And we all love our sleep, don't we? I know we do. And so there are some other. I mean, they're all starting from the same spot for the most part. The ones that are here at my house, because why? That's where I start. Is my house. So if you or your friends or anybody would like to join us, so that we starting from different spots, then by all means, please reach out to me. However, you know how. You could on this YouTube show, Javier in the Air. My handle for YouTube is hashtag Javier in the Air 01. And so you could reach out to me there if you know me on Facebook or on TikTok or on Spotify or on Instagram or on anywhere else you can get a hold of me. Please do so, and we can start coordinating, seeing if we can get more people out there, or just doing a special one-off where I go and I meet you and your friends or whoever at your place, and we start from your spot and we walk there. Now, I'm trying to avoid the parks, because the parks have their own, are supposed to have their own cleaning crew. Plus, I know a lot of people that run or walk trails, and they try to do picking up of their own, which kudos to you all for doing that. This is just walking through our hoods. As much as I'd like to get the trails clean, there are more people than I that are out there doing that, or trying to do that when they can. So I noticed that a lot of the neighborhoods are just neglected. Now, they're not horrible, and they're not nowhere near what some of these YouTube channels and reels that I see on Facebook. Those people, more power to them. They have their own site, and they have sometimes merchandise, and they have huge parts of their community picking up horrible ditches and properties that have been abandoned and trying to clean up there. More power to them. Luckily, I don't have that a lot in my area. So what I do have are neglected street corners and curbs all the trash has a tendency to collect to. So because of this, I'm going from my house, so I'm doing some of the same routes, because there's only so many routes heading out of my garage driveway. So let's put it that way. So again, any interest, let me know. If not, I will continue, and that's why I have the routes or the routes that I do. And so you'll see some of them again. And I'm going on 200 weeks now. Our 201 week just finished. So I'm coming up on 2 years, which will be 208 weeks. And so maybe I'll do something special for that. Anyway, all right, enough about Trash in the Hood. We're going to go to our next segment, which is our Zen Moment, which I've gotten some really good feedback on because of the help of my good friend Chad, ex-coworker of mine. And he did some fantastic AI imagery while we were working together, and I got a hold of all of them. I think I got a hold of all of them, Chad. I'm not sure. And so I've been using them as the background for our Zen Moment. So I am going to see if I can come up with perhaps some AI generated music to go with it. I've been picking some from what's found on the editing software that I use, but maybe I can try to have it generate some for me. Let's see how I do. right. Here we go. That was our Zen moment, everyone. Staying hydrated on this hot day. So it's hot and muggy, which reminds me of South Florida when I lived there. Except it's not raining every 5 minutes. It's just raining every other day so far. But today is the longest day. It's also Father's Day, so happy Pops Day for all the pops out there. And hope y'all are doing something special. So, speaking of something special, so what I've been trying to do lately now, which by the way, I started a new job 2 weeks ago. It's going great. I enjoy it. I'm still getting to do what I like to do, which is QA, as you saw there in the Zen moment. So I'm having a great time. But about 2 weeks ago, actually a little bit before that, I decided that I was going to try to become more social again. I've been trying to have the social theme parties that I normally have, but it's been slim pickings because a lot of people have moved on with their careers and so have left this part of Cedar Park, or they've moved away from this state, or they've moved away from this country. You know who you are. So because of that, a lot of people, I am down to slim pickings when it comes to trying to host a themed party. As we all get older, things happen. People have kids, those kids start to have parties, and they start to have events, and they start to have things that, as a parent, is what you need to do is spend time with your kids. You're not supposed to spend time with an old heavyset Mexican guy all the time, but I mean you can, but you don't have to. It's more important to be with your kids. So because of that, again, slim pickings when it comes to my set of friends. So I decided I needed to gain and acquire more friends. So in order to do that, I have been trying to get out more and do more things outside of this domicile. And so bear with me as I start trying to do some more things, show some more things on here to see what's going on. I've joined a couple of groups. I am just getting out more in general. I am hitting a coffee shop on Sunday mornings. It's a brewery coffee shop, but I am getting out there and I am letting people know that I am out there. If they'd like to join me at some point for coffee and convo, you are more than welcome to find me there. You'll see me with the book. And it's still a little tucked away place. Not a lot of people know of it, but it's fantastic and great. Again, they are not sponsoring me in any way, shape, or form. I buy my Java like everybody else, but they have a great cortado, and I think the latte of the month is Teddy Graham latte. And if you get there, when a certain someone is there, they will make a bear for you in the foam. That's right. So anyway, so things like that, I'll be trying to get out more. It jives right in with my Jav-A Beans, which we're going to see here in a moment. And so, but I'm trying to get out on top of that as well. So if you see me out there, say hello. I've been getting more people on my walks to recognize me from next door, which I appreciate. Hopefully they will find my little corner of the internet and I start becoming very popular here on Javier In the Air. Anyway, so I'll be showing some more things here and there having to do with that. So let's jump right into our next segment, which is our Jav-A Beans. All right, so here you have our Cafe Java, which is down the street from me. And again, once again, for all the censors, I am not sponsored by anyone, certainly not Cafe Java, but it is definitely fantastic coffee. So here's a little bit. There's their Cafe Java with their Coco Pelli style logo. And I was out there with the neighbors, James and Zaida. This was on one of my days off before I started my new job. So here we have some more Cocopelli style artwork, and this is the pickup corner. You can order online and pick up, or you can walk in and order from there and take it away with you. And so this was I think it was called peanut butter s'mores, but it was definitely like a peanut butter latte that I had neighbor James randomly choose for me. So here.
Hey, out here at Cafe Java, our first time for Jav-A Beans. This is a salty Coke burger, salty caramel, whipped cream top. I had to eat it off so I could get the coffee. Salty caramel, peanut butter, and espresso with chocolate overtones. So let's see how it goes.
Oh, trying food. I think you're getting hungry now.
Definitely taste the peanut butter. I can taste the chocolate. I don't taste the coffee, the salted caramel. I wonder if it was on top with the cream. But it's really good. It's a good mixed drink. I'll have it. I'm gonna give it 3.5 beans out of 5. So there you go, Cafe Java out here in Cedar Park.
Okay, so there you have it. My voice is all over the place today on this show, so I apologize. I was trying to keep my voice a little bit lower on the video for Jav-A Beans due to the fact that it was a crowded restaurant, and I didn't want people to just be like, hey, what's going on? So you can hear the baby crying in the background, and I kind of maybe went too low, and neighbor James was maybe too far away, so that the picture looks good, but my volume is a little wonky on there, so I apologize for that. But if you didn't read my lips, or you were able to understand, or you weren't able to understand what I was saying, was it was a peanut butter latte, and it had a drizzle of chocolate and everything. It was almost like a s'more, and I gave it 3.5 beans. I think I said 3.5 beans. I don't even remember. It's been a while. Out of 5. So that is quite a good rating for out of 5. That's really good. And Cafe Java has a lot of different offerings, and so you'll be seeing them later in the year as I work through the coffee videos that I have, the Jav-A Beans that I have. They have one that I was really excited about, and I'll probably go in and get it again if they still have it this week before I start work. And if they do, yay for me. But I did get a video clip of that, so it will be on later on. It's fantastic. If you've never had this flavor before, I highly recommend it. If you need to know without waiting, you can message me directly, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. And for those of you who are out at Cafe Java, I think you can figure out the one I'm talking about. If you haven't been there before, if you have been there before, if you haven't been there before, try and see what's there. Check the board. All right, so that was our Jav-A Beans, and as you notice, I'm trying to hit different places. Again, trying to be more social, also trying to be more caffeine, Java driven, coffee driven. There is a place like that I told you about. I go on Sunday mornings. That place I always hit, but I've been trying to hit other places as well. And some of them I will be hitting 2 or 3 times over the next couple of seasons. And that's only because they're there. They have different offerings. I'm trying something different, and I can only go so far. I will travel. If you have a mom and pop shop that you think is fantastic and you'd like for me to try out their particular type of coffee, I usually try to get a cortado to try their coffee, to see how they brew their coffee, and see if it's a light or dark roast, and it just gives me a good base to go from. And then I'll try something that I'll have whoever's with me randomly select something for me. It's gotta have coffee in it. And I've been trying to keep away from the frappes and the frappuccinos. I still get flavored lattes and stuff like that, but I mean, and that peanut butter one was That was a really, really sweet one, and it was good, but it was really sweet and not something I would have normally picked for myself, as I'm trying to stay away more from the sugar, but it got chosen, so there you have it. All right, so now that we've gone through that, we're going to hit the, I guess we'll call it the miscellaneous section of the show. So I've had a couple of things done. I had one thing done, but because of the one thing, it led to another thing, which I won't go into the other thing because the other thing was a repair. So I did get something done for the house, aka for me, and it's something that I really wanted. And so let's take a look and see what I'm talking about. And so I just realized that I ruined the surprise by actually putting it in the title. But yes, I got a walk-in shower. So this is a shot of the bathtub that came with the house. The house was built in 86. So you can figure out the math. This is about a 40-year-old bathtub. As my understanding, it's never been replaced. And it is, you can tell just because of its old style and everything. And actually, this was dirty at the time, and I didn't care because it was going to get demolished, right? So I was like, yeah, go for it. So this is the tub, which I never was able to use because even though I am not a tall man, I am still too big to fit in that tub. And so what I did is I also had added a shower pan, waterfall type shower head. Unfortunately, it had to go up in order for me to get under it. And again, I'm not tall, and so the pressure was for garbage. So now I went ahead and got a new shower installed, a walk-in shower, which I don't show the bottom. Maybe I'll show you that next time. But yes, that is a photo. That is an actual shot of the window, and it is dusk. And that window has a fantastic view as you look out of it. But there is two walls of the three of the walk-in shower. Now these tiles go all the way to the ceiling now, and the ceiling's arched. It's part of the A-frame part of the house. But the tiling guys did a fantastic job. So this is with the grout still drying up a little bit, and they didn't install the fixtures yet. So this is the other side. This is wall 2 and 3, and you see a bit of the window there on wall 2. And it is fantastic looking. So what they did is they demolished the bathtub, removed all that, and removed the fixtures, removed the old stuff, like I said, and then they moved the shower head 8 inches higher so that it will come down and it'll be decent pressure. So there it is. And to give you a frame of reference, my head is probably 6 inches below that. Or 4 inches, but still, it's fantastic. It's the perfect height for just about everyone. And there is the new water spigot, or handle, shall I say. That there were some other issues with that, but we got it going. The water is hot. It is fantastic, and now it only raised about 2 inches. All right, so walk-in shower. For those of you who may know this, or those of you who may not know this, walk-in shower is basically just a defining of your bathtub so that you can walk in and you don't have to raise your leg to get over into the tub itself. I highly recommend it. I know I have one, that's why but I don't care where you live or whatever, but it is very, very great for those of you who may no longer have little kitties, and you don't need to have a bathtub where they can sit in so you can give them a bath. If you have an extra bathroom like I do, so this house would still be viable for somebody if and when I ever decided to sell it, which I'm not planning on doing any time at all. You'd still have a bathtub that you could have your young kids to have their baths in. So this is just a walk-in shower. They demolished the bathtub. They put in a shower pan, which only has a footprint of about that high so that the water doesn't just flow into your bathtub. It still flows into the drain. The drain stayed in the same position, so there's still that slight angle that the water then goes down to the drain itself. And I went with a wooden style tile, and it is a tile, and it is great. The shower pan itself has just a little bit of a texture to it. So for those of you who may have some feet issues like I do, maybe it should have been a little bit more of a texture, but I like it, and I can still remain footing. And if I ever had to accidentally fall, I should be fine. So because it's only raised this high, it's not even a step. You are just walking right into your shower, which is why it's called a walk-in shower. And they, like I said, they redesigned or replumbed so that the shower head they moved it up a whole 8 inches from where it was, which it was almost at the dead center of my forehead, which shows you how low that is, because I'm only 5'7". So it was very interesting to see it moved. Now it's moved, like you can't even see where my hand is, but you can see the shadow. So it's perfect for me. And so it turned out real great. We got the hot water squared away, so it is extremely hot water, which is fantastic, which is exactly what I like. And if you don't like it that hot, guess what? You can turn it back to cold, and it still has cold water. Though why you would want to take a cold shower, I don't know. That's your own personal choice. And if you do, why the hell are you in my bathroom taking a shower? All right, so walk-in shower, fantastic, did great. I know I only have a few minutes left, so I'm going to bypass spirit time this time, which, by the way, shame on me. I didn't get any new beer or alcohol or look for any cocktails this time, and I apologize to everyone for that. I know I do have a small but loyal following on people who like to see alcohol on my show. But I'm also working on other things. I'm still trying to get the garden going. I thought my strawberry plant was growing well. It turns out it had been taken over by a weed. I had to pull that weed this weekend, which is now I have almost empty garden beds. I do have 1 or 2 things growing, which I'm not sure what they are, because throughout the years, all the plants that I've planted, who knows what grows up this season. It takes its pick and does it. So I'm sure there's hundreds of seeds down there that are still waiting to grow. So we'll see what happens. I have been putting in new flowers in the front, and I had some help with that this weekend with my nephew. We put some more plants in. I'm trying to get more bees to come to pollinate, so that maybe that I actually will get stuff to grow in my garden. Plus, it'll help out my neighbors, the Pavlowskis. They grow anything and everything and do a fantastic job, and their stuff is so good. So maybe additional bees will help them out as well. So still trying to get that going. If and when I ever got it going, now, like I said, the best thing I've ever gotten out of there was the loofah, which nobody wanted. So I have a lot of loofah that just, as it gets drier, it gets even better, sitting in a bag in the garage. So, but I'm going to keep trying. I set myself a goal to try to do that. Plus, I've been doing some other things out back that maybe I'll show you eventually on this show. So that's it for me. That's it for Javier in the Air. This was, I believe this was episode 12. And it is fantastic. I appreciate everyone out here who watches the show. If you feel you must, please refer all your friends and family to watching Javier in the Air. Where's my finger? There it is. In the air, not on the air. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you have areas that you'd like me to go visit, mom and pop stores that you'd like me to drop in and try out some of their coffee, or anything else that they may have, feel free to drop me a line. I'm available and can be reached on just about every kind of social media out there. Plus, if you know how to reach me directly, please do. All right, so that is it for this episode. I hope you have a good day. Once again, happy Pops Day to all the pops out there. And I will see everybody again in, where is it? 2 weeks. 2 weeks, everybody.